You were not born to beg. You were not designed to chase pennies in a universe overflowing with gold. The moment you were formed, abundance was written into your soul's contract. To stay broke is to deny the divine command that you were made rich in substance, rich in spirit, and rich in supply. Lack is not humility. It is a misunderstanding of truth. There is no virtue in poverty, no spiritual badge in lack. It is not God's will that you scrape through life. His will is that you flourish, that you overflow with good, and that you live in such radiant wealth that others are blessed by your surplus. You are commanded to prosper. You were spoken into existence by a word of power, and that power is still in your mouth. The wealth of heaven answers not to worry, but to the voice of unshaken faith. Say it and see it. Declare what is yours, not what is missing. Every time you speak lack, you seal your gates. Every time you speak supply, you open the storehouses of heaven. Money is not your source. Spirit is, and spirit is never limited. Your current reality is only the echo of your old declarations. Speak differently, and your life will move. To stay broke is to stay in rebellion to divine truth. Riches are your birthright. You do not need to struggle for what has already been promised. You only need to receive without fear and walk in divine confidence. Say, I am supplied. I am supported. I am rich because the law of abundance cannot be broken, and when you say it, feel it. See yourself already possessing it. Act as though the need is already met, and it shall be. The law works when you work it with faith and boldness. No more bowing to fear. No more dancing with doubt. The time for small prayers and shrinking language is over. Speak as one who has authority, for you do. The universe moves for the soul that commands with conviction. You are rich now, not later, not someday, because God never delays your good. Align with the truth, and the illusion of lack will vanish like smoke. Riches are waiting for your word. Never stay broke again. Lack is a deception of the senses, a shadow cast by doubt and fear. It is not real in the realm of spirit. What appears missing in the outer world is only the result of forgetting your inner inheritance. The truth is that abundance is your divine nature. You were created from infinite supply, by infinite intelligence, and placed in a universe of limitless provision. Just as the sun does not ration its light, divine substance does not withhold itself from the one who claims it in faith. The lie of lack dissolves the moment you remember who you are, a spiritual being with access to all that is good, here and now. Shift your attention from absence to presence, from fear to faith, and you will find that what you believed was lacking was only hidden by your own disbelief. You were not created to live in fear, struggle, or insufficiency. To dwell in poverty is to live outside the harmony of spiritual truth. Divine law is abundance, order, and overflow. It supplies before the need arises. When you accept poverty as normal, you reject the very nature of your Creator, who formed you in the image of unlimited supply. Poverty is not a punishment, but a result of misalignment with divine principle. When you speak words of lack, expect little, or fear the future, you cut yourself off from the current of divine provision. Obedience to the law of abundance means trusting in divine timing, declaring your needs met, and walking in unwavering faith that what is yours cannot be withheld. To live richly in spirit and substance is not a luxury. It is your sacred responsibility. A lack was never your destiny. You were not placed on this earth to struggle, to scrape by, or to plead for crumbs. You were fashioned by the same power that created galaxies, oceans, and endless beauty. Do you think that power would design you to live in deficiency? Absolutely not. You were created to be a radiant expression of divine abundance, to reflect the wealth of heaven through your thoughts, Your words and your life supply is your spiritual inheritance, not something you chase, but something you allow. It flows to and through you the moment you realize you are the vessel of infinite good. Your very being is meant to shine with confidence, overflow with provision, and bless others by the richness that naturally surrounds you. You are not here to survive. You are here to demonstrate the limitless supply of the Spirit in visible form. Faith is the invisible pipeline through which divine wealth pours into your life. But not just any faith, fearless faith, the kind that does not tremble at appearances or flinch at delay. When you believe without wavering, when you speak as though the thing you desire is already yours, you become an open and unobstructed channel for God's infinite supply. Fear, doubt, and hesitation clog the flow. They close the door on miracles. But fearless faith swings that door wide. It trusts divine timing. God's wealth was never meant to be earned by struggle, but received through spiritual confidence. The riches of heaven are not withheld. They are always present, always flowing, waiting for the soul bold enough to receive without fear. Every word you speak is a decree, an order issued to the unseen forces that shape your reality. When you speak with faith, gratitude, and expectation, you unlock the gates of prosperity and invite divine abundance to flow freely into your life. But when you speak words of lack, fear, or limitation, you unknowingly shut those gates, blocking the very good you desire. The law does not judge your words, it fulfills them. Say, I never have enough, and the law confirms it. Say, I am always provided for, and the law sets that in motion. Words are not idle, they are seeds. What you plant, you will harvest. Prosperity begins not with effort, but with utterance. Guard your tongue, for it is the key to your treasure house. Speak wealth, and you will walk in it. In the realm of spirit, there is no delay, no denial, only divine readiness. The very instant you recognize a need and claim its fulfillment with unwavering faith, it is answered, not in the future, not one day, but in the eternal now. The physical world may take time to reflect what is already done in the spiritual, but the truth remains, the supply is released the moment you claim it. This is not wishing. To spiritually claim something is to accept it as already yours, to align your thoughts, feelings, and words with the reality of its presence. Doubt postpones, fear disrupts, but true spiritual claiming activates. Your need exists only to reveal your power to receive. The door opens the moment you knock in confidence, and the good you seek begins moving toward you the instant you say, "It is mine by divine right." The spiritual law does not respond to begging, it responds to belief. When you speak as if you already possess the riches you desire, you harmonize with the frequency of abundance. You step into the identity of one who lacks nothing, and the universe mirrors that truth back to you. This is not make-believe, it is divine alignment. To speak from the end result is to claim your inheritance with authority. Saying, "I am wealthy," even when your outer world says otherwise, is not denial. It is declaration. It is the language of faith, and faith always precedes the visible. You do not wait for money to speak prosperity. You speak prosperity to welcome money. Talk as the wealthy, think as the blessed think, feel as the provided for feel. For when your inner speech agrees with abundance, riches must come. All around you, though unseen, is the invisible substance of spirit, limitless, formless, ready to take shape at your command. This divine substance is the raw material of creation, responding not to need, but to conscious direction. It is not distant or reserved for the few. It is everywhere, waiting for you to call it into visibility. With faith-filled words and unwavering belief, you do not manifest by effort alone, but by awareness. The moment you say, "I accept my good," You begin to mold the invisible into the visible. What you consistently imagine, feel, and declare takes form because divine substance obeys spiritual law. Just as clay yields to the hand of the sculptor, divine substance yields to the one who knows their authority. Do not say, "If it comes." Say, "It is here now." Call it forth boldly, wealth, health, opportunity, and it must appear. Every time you repeat thoughts or words of lack, you reinforce it. Scarcity becomes a mental rehearsal, a pattern you unknowingly perform until it takes root in your reality. But you were never meant to speak about what you fear. You were meant to declare what you know is divinely yours. The law of mind does not respond to your worry. It responds to your word. To rehearse poverty is to renew the contract with it. To decree wealth is to break that contract and write a new one in alignment with truth. Your decree is not a request. It is a spiritual command. Say it with authority. I am wealthy. I live in divine abundance. Money comes to me with ease and purpose. Every declaration pushes scarcity further out of your life and draws divine supply closer into view. Speak your wealth until it becomes your world. You were not created to merely get by. You were created to live in the overflow of divine provision. Survival is the mindset of fear, of just enough, of holding on tightly in case it all disappears. But that is not heaven's law. Heaven's law is supply, constant, generous, abundant, and without end. There is no shortage in the mind of God. The birds do not beg for seed, the flowers do not toil for beauty, and yet they are sustained in perfect order. How much more are you cared for as a spiritual being with direct access to divine intelligence? When you operate from survival, you block